You're sitting at your desk. The deadline is tomorrow. You know exactly what you need to do. But instead, you open YouTube. You scroll through Instagram. You suddenly feel an urgent need to clean your room, reorganize your closet, or watch a documentary about ancient Rome. Anything except the task in front of you. Sound familiar? If you've ever called yourself lazy, undisciplined, or broken because of this, I have news for you. You are not lazy. You are not weak. And by the end of this video, you will never look at procrastination the same way again. Because what science has discovered about why your brain does this is far more disturbing and far more liberating than you can imagine. Welcome back to MindLayer, where we decode the human mind, one layer at a time. Today, we're going deep into one of the most misunderstood behaviors in psychology: procrastination. What you are about to learn is not another productivity tip. This is the actual neuroscience behind why you delay important things, and the hidden mechanism that has been controlling you your entire life without you ever realizing it. Let's begin. For decades, society has told us a very simple story. People who procrastinate are lazy, undisciplined, weak-willed. We've heard it from parents, teachers, bosses, and even ourselves. If only you tried harder. If only you had more willpower. If only you stopped being so lazy. But here's the problem with that theory. Studies from Carleton University, MIT, Cambridge, and Harvard have all shown something completely different. Procrastinators are not lacking discipline. In fact, many of them are highly intelligent, deeply ambitious, and incredibly hardworking in other areas of their lives. So why do they keep delaying the tasks that matter most? The answer does not live in your character. It lives in a tiny, ancient part of your brain called the limbic system. And once you understand how it works, everything changes. Here is the scientific truth that will rewire how you see yourself forever. Procrastination is not a time management problem. It is an emotional regulation problem. Let me say that again, because this is the most important sentence in this entire video. Procrastination is not about time. It is about emotion. When you face a task, whether it is writing an essay, making a difficult phone call, starting a workout, or sending an important email, your brain does not actually see the task. It sees the emotions attached to the task. Fear of failure, doubt about your abilities, frustration, boredom, overwhelm, anxiety about being judged. These emotions hit your brain before you even pick up the pen or open the laptop. And here is where it gets fascinating. Your limbic system, the emotional center of your brain, evolved hundreds of thousands of years ago to keep you alive. It cannot tell the difference between a real threat, like a predator in the wild, and a modern emotional threat, like the fear of writing a bad report. To your limbic system, both feel equally dangerous. So it does what it has always done. It panics. It demands relief. Right now. And what gives you the fastest emotional relief in the modern world? Your phone, social media, food, random YouTube videos, cleaning, anything that takes you away from the painful emotion in front of you. Psychologists have a name for this. They call it mood repair. And your brain is literally hardwired to choose short-term emotional comfort over long-term success every single time, unless you actively intervene. So when you procrastinate, you are not being lazy. Your brain is protecting you from emotional pain. It is doing exactly what evolution designed it to do. The problem is, evolution never prepared us for deadlines, taxes, and term papers. Let that sink in for a moment. But here is where things get even more counterintuitive. There's a strange paradox in procrastination research that almost no one talks about. Smart, ambitious, high-achieving people often procrastinate more, not less. And it is not because they are flawed, it is because of how their minds work. Think about it. If you care deeply about your work, the stakes feel higher. The fear of failure becomes bigger. Your brain associates more emotional weight with each task. The smarter you are, the more clearly you can imagine all the ways things could go wrong. You can see every flaw before you even begin. You can predict criticism that has not happened yet. You can feel disappointment that does not exist yet. So what does your brain do? It pulls the emergency brake. And suddenly, at 2 in the morning, you find yourself washing dishes, watching cooking videos, or learning about the history of Mongolia, instead of finishing the report that is due in 8 hours. This is not a flaw in your design. This is an evolutionary protection mechanism that simply no longer fits the world we live in. Your brain is still trying to save you from threats that no longer exist in the way they used to. Now, here is where the story gets truly dark. Every single time you choose your phone over your real task, your brain releases dopamine. Dopamine is the pleasure chemical. It is the molecule of reward. And it feels really, really good. So your brain quietly takes a note. Avoiding the task equals pleasure. Doing the task equals pain. Day after day, week after week, year after year, this loop gets stronger. You are literally training your brain to procrastinate. You are reinforcing the very behavior you hate through pure neurological repetition. This is why procrastination tends to get worse over time, not better. It is not because you are getting lazier. It is because the neural pathway in your brain that links avoidance to pleasure is getting deeper and stronger every single day. It is a neurological habit, almost an addiction. And here is the most uncomfortable truth of all. Your phone was designed for this. Some of the smartest engineers on the planet have spent billions of dollars and decades of research designing apps that exploit this exact system. The notifications, the endless scroll, the colors, the vibrations. All of it is engineered to hijack your dopamine system. It is not your fault that you cannot put your phone down. The phone was built to be irresistible. You are not weak. You are fighting a system that was specifically designed to defeat you. So how do you actually escape this trap? Science has given us 3 powerful evidence-based strategies. And if you apply even one of them consistently, your relationship with procrastination will change forever. Strategy number 1, forgive yourself. This sounds soft, but the research is shocking. A landmark study from Carleton University found that students who forgave themselves for procrastinating actually procrastinated less on their next task. Why? Because guilt and shame feed the cycle. When you beat yourself up for procrastinating, you create more negative emotion. And more negative emotion means more avoidance behavior. Self-compassion, on the other hand, breaks the loop. It calms your limbic system. It tells your brain that you are safe. And when your brain feels safe, you can finally focus on the task. Strategy number 2, start with 2 minutes. Do not commit to the whole task. Do not commit to 1 hour. Just commit to 2 minutes. Neuroscience shows that your emotional alarm system fires the hardest before you start. Once you begin, even reluctantly, the resistance starts to dissolve. The dread you imagined was always bigger than the task itself. By promising yourself only 2 minutes, you bypass the limbic system entirely. And 9 times out of 10, you will keep going long after those 2 minutes are over. Strategy number 3. Manage the emotion, not the task. This is the most powerful technique in this entire video, so listen carefully. Before you begin any task you have been avoiding, pause and ask yourself a single question. What am I actually afraid of right now? Not what task am I avoiding, but what feeling am I avoiding? Is it fear of failure? Fear of judgment? Fear of being seen as not smart enough? Just name the emotion, out loud or in writing. Neuroscientists call this affect labeling. Brain scans have shown that the simple act of naming an emotion immediately reduces activity in the amygdala, the fear center of your brain. Naming the feeling shrinks it. Suddenly, the task feels manageable because you have addressed the real obstacle. The obstacle was never the task. It was always the feeling underneath it. So the next time you find yourself reaching for your phone instead of your laptop, remember this. You are not lazy. You are not broken. You are not failing. Your brain is just trying to protect you from emotions it does not yet know how to handle. And now that you finally understand the truth, you have the power to change it. Procrastination is not your enemy. It is a signal, a messenger. It is telling you that there is an emotion underneath that needs your attention, your understanding, and your compassion. The moment you stop fighting yourself, you start healing yourself. If this video changed the way you see your own mind, hit that subscribe button. Every week at MindLayer, we dive deep into the hidden layers of human psychology. The parts no one talks about. The truths that change everything. Until next time, keep questioning your own mind.